What up, Raffalitos? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are at the intersection of Lessingen Road and Irving Street and this traffic circle. So did a video recently about the traffic circle, the one at Sheriff Street and the Train Line Road. I explained why it's a bad idea, why in fact they should have built an overpass instead. So yesterday on Sunday there was an accident. There was a cement truck that overturned in a traffic circle and stopped traffic in all directions. Luckily it was Sunday morning, and so you didn't actually see the chaos and the major traffic jam that could result from an accident in the traffic circle. Now this morning we're looking at what happens at traffic coming off of the East Coast. That's traffic coming down Public Road Kitty, entering the traffic circle and now being diverted to this Seawall Road. I think, what's the name of this Seawall Road again? I think it's Rupert Craig? No, I think Rupert Craig continues off of, actually it might be Rupert Craig. Anyway, what's happening here is that traffic is being diverted off of, or diverting itself off of Carifesta Avenue, because there's a school. There's a school, I think it's called Marian Academy, near to the end of Carifesta Avenue, that basically holds up traffic, causes a traffic jam at this time of day because of all of the kids that are being dropped off to that school. So what happens is that traffic backs up all the way up the East Coast because of this traffic circle. So traffic that would normally go along Carifesta Avenue to get to the city now gets diverted onto this Seawall Road in order to avoid the traffic jam at Marian Academy, the school on Carifesta Avenue. So only at this point, at this time of day, only traffic that has to drop off their kids at Marian Academy uses Carifesta Avenue, and all the other traffic coming in, this is traffic coming in off the East Coast, coming in off of Rupert Craig Highway and all the way east. That is places like Buxton and Mycone and all the way up the East Coast. That traffic is coming into Georgetown via this route, Public Road Kitty, and this traffic circle. And that's traffic heading in along the Lessingen Road and coming out on Irving Street to this traffic circle. And this is traffic heading into the city to avoid Carifesta Avenue. So what's the point I'm making here, guys? I'm saying that traffic circles are not as efficient as people assume they are, because what they do is they slow down traffic in all directions, because everybody has to negotiate this junction, this traffic circle. And when you have a high volume of traffic, the traffic circle is least efficient. What they could have built is an elevated highway, an overpass and an underpass. Even now they could put an elevated highway over the traffic circle, so that only traffic that it has to operate locally, that wants to exit into Kitty and the local environment, need to use the traffic circle. But traffic that wants to make, you know, a straight non-stop journey into the city could simply avoid the traffic circle by going over it. That's the overpass. And then there could be exits before and after the overpass, an entrance to and from the beyond the overpass, so that traffic can actually join the highway and use the overpass. That's a much more efficient arrangement. In fact, I recommended that for the traffic circle at the junction of Mandel Avenue and the new East Bank Bypass Road. That traffic circle is a disaster waiting to happen, because the volume of traffic coming into the city and out of the city at rush hour is very high. So an accident, say at 8 a.m. in the morning in that traffic circle at South Ronville, the junction, of Mandela Avenue and the new East Bank bypass road, that would cause an apocalypse, like a traffic jam of gargantuan proportions, as has happened here and the other traffic circles. But why are we building only traffic circles in Guyana at these junctions? One of the reasons is just laziness. Second reason is that because we don't have the skill locally to build elevated highways, and therefore we'll probably not have the safest engineering. But we've solved that problem with building the Demerara Bridge by hiring international experts. We have Chinese companies building hotels in Guyana. That's the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center that was built by a Chinese company, China Harbor Engineers, you know, right here at the Atlantic Ocean. We have Exxon building platforms out in the Atlantic Ocean for oil extraction, and we hired Chinese firms to build multi-story high-rise hotels in Georgetown and at Timehri. So the problem is not that we can't find the engineers to build proper roads in Guyana. The point is failure of imagination, and the fact that poor infrastructure can result in inefficiency and as bad as deaths, you know, lives lost. And we don't really see that. In other words, the people who are making these decisions are not far-sighted enough to see the future problems that could happen. That's looking back towards the traffic circle. Right, this long line of stalls, food stalls, is now a permanent fixation here. This is what traffic looks like at rush hour into Georgetown. And it's only Monday, what is it? Monday morning? Monday morning, so Monday the 5th of June. So it's not even midweek traffic jams, which could be even bigger. So that's the situation here, guys. That's what's happening here in this neck of the woods. We're walking on the seawall. There are these boulders that have been placed here recently to protect the seawall. Still can't stop people from dumping trash on the seawall, but there needs to be a lot more of these boulders placed all along the coast. And in some cases they're building forests of mangrove forests. What that does is obscures the view of the sea. Right, so now you can look out, clearly see the Atlantic Ocean and the mud flats. So the tide is out, and you can see how far the tide goes out at low tide. But these boulders are what protects the land from the waves coming in off the ocean, and there needs to be a lot more of them as a solution, an engineering solution to sea level rise. Like I said, we don't really have the most imaginative leaders. So a lot of this is not going to get done when it really should be a priority. So long time since we've been in this neck of the woods. I think it was Easter the last time we walked on the seawall, and this is what I wanted to show you, what was happening here at Kingston and Kitty seawall as we walk between Kingston and Kitty. You're going to see what changes took place in the last month since we've been here, because Kitty, I think Kitty seawall was fairly stable. There were no projects ongoing a month or 2 months ago, but there were several projects ongoing at Kingston seawall, which we'll show you in minutes. So stay tuned. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Georgetown on a Monday morning with traffic. A lot of these places now are being built to cater for the Sunday crowd. So this is usually a place where people hang out on weekends, Saturday and Sunday especially. And a lot of these kiosks and stalls and food places and beer places are popping up all along the seawall to cater to that Sunday crowd. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Georgetown, Guyana at the Kitty Seawall. Later!